Welcome to my podcast. My name is Corrinala. I come to you from the Pacific Northwest where I live with my partner, our 2 kitties, and 2 adopted Mustangs. Information about the Wildhorse adoption program will be in the episode description box. This podcast covers knitting projects, my horsemanship journey, and my other passions like vegetable gardening and bicycling. If you're new here, I hope you find the content interesting. If you're a returning viewer, it's always great to have old friends. The format of this channel typically includes musings on an early walk to the barn to feed the horses, then knitting content, some catch up on the horsemanship journey, and finally more musings or maybe a little bicycling footage if I was lucky enough to get out. Enjoy, and I hope to see you soon. Good morning, friends. Welcome to an episode of my podcast. It's been a couple weeks because we were on vacation. Sorry, it's still dark out. Today is Friday, September 26th, and it is not quite 7 a.m. So this is the walk out to the barn to feed the horses. Oh, look, there I am. I'll face forward here in a moment as I actually start to walk in that direction. But first, to stop at the well house, turn on the water because we have a little bit of a leak out in the barn that I think we've identified, just not sure how to fix yet. So, see someone walking on the road talking on their phone, which is kind of unusual actually. Okay, pardon the bending over. All right, let's get going in the other direction. So it's raining just a little bit. Fall has definitely arrived. Knitting. What's been going on with knitting? So I haven't shown you my projects in a couple weeks. I've made significant progress on several of them. I have some goals to talk about because October there are several make-alongs, 2 of which I want to participate in, which means I need to finish some projects. So I look forward to showing you the progress that I've made. I am wearing a long sleeve sweater. It's made out of a very light colored yarn, or lightweight yarn. It's a Barocco yarn, so it might be a light sport. And it's getting a little old looking because I bought the yarn, I'm going to say in 2018 in Grand Marais, which is in Minnesota, very northern Minnesota. So the yarn is kind of special to me, but the sweater's getting kind of ratty. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about keeping stuff like that? I haven't done much with the horses. My trainer's not coming today. I did work with Odin a little bit in the round pen. He still has a stone bruise. So even though I might sort of start getting ready to ride, he's not ready yet. So, and I don't know if you can see him, but he's standing over there under a tree. Presumably Bragi's with him. It's hard to see him because he's a dark bay. Oh, I see him. So I'm just going to continue practicing things. I saw the surgeon earlier this week about my shoulder, and he wants me to continue with physical therapy. So I'm going to that today. And I'm going to try to ride my bike. He said that... I'll turn you around so you can see me again. Let's go that way, maybe, toward the light. Nope, that puts me in the dark. He said that I might get some feedback on my shoulder. I tested it out yesterday on the exercise bike, and it was okay. But that's not on pavement, so I'll give it a try, see how it feels, and hopefully I can start riding my bike. In the meantime, I'm going to get to feeding. Hi, friends. Welcome to the knitting portion of my podcast. I'm wearing the Weir sweater, and I mentioned the sweater on the walk out to the barn. It's a precious sweater in the sense that I remember buying the yarn. I said 2018, but it was actually 2019 in Grand Marais, where I took a trip with my mom and my sister. And the pattern came out that year, and I'm pretty sure I finished it that year as well. The pattern will be in my Ravelry project page, but I didn't keep very good notes. So I don't really have the yarn colorway. I know it was a Barocco. I know it was a linen wool blend. I'm not sure if you can see that it is pilling quite a bit. So I could de-pill it. I don't have one of the little scraper things to do that, so I just tend to pick at it. I wear this sweater out to the barn. I try to not get hay in it, but it is getting worn, and it's too precious to give away or throw away, so I guess I think I'm going to wear it, continue to wear it. I am curious, though, what you do with your precious knits that might be wearing out. And you don't want to give away. Maybe you don't give away any of your knits, which is completely reasonable. I just started giving some stuff away. I'm just getting quite a collection of socks. Some of the first pairs of socks I knit, I don't like to wear anymore, so I'm going to give those away. I got my use out of them, and they're still perfectly serviceable, but they would go well in a donation box. So that's what I'm wearing. I have a big pile of projects to share with you. It's been a couple weeks. I will have some vacation footage for you. I intended to do a vlog last week, but it didn't really end in any, I don't know, it wasn't a cohesive enough story, in my opinion. So I'm just going to include it in this one. It might be about 10 minutes. So I'll talk about that, but let's talk about the projects. And I'm going to talk about just kind of my stash down plans as I work through these projects. Ghost Horses, which is right here. It's in this bag that I made, a crochet bag. It's by Nitty, the pattern's by Nitty Natty. And I am almost done with the ribbing on the body of this sweater. So let me see if I can show. So you can see the ghost horses, and then I am within a couple rounds, can you see that, of the body, finishing the body, and then we'll start on the sleeves. I can't wait to wear this, and the weather is just getting to the point where it is sweater friendly. So this is the progress keeper that I had the last time I recorded. So I'm just going to take that progress keeper off because it doesn't mean anything anymore at this stage. So the pattern's by Caitlin Hunter. I've taken pretty good notes on it. I used, for the colorwork section, I used at least one needle size larger than what the pattern recommended, because I tend to knit very tightly when I do color work. So that was my strategy. And then for the ribbing, I'm using a US size 4. Colorwork, I use US size 5. Ribbing, not use US size 4 for ribbing. This is a US size, it's a 2.75 millimeter, so what I think is a US size 2. Chagu red lace. And then for like the places that are just stockinette stitching, like the short rows here, and then I think there was a row or two at the bottom, I used a US size 4 for that. So that is that project. I anticipate having that finished in October. That is my goal. This is my morning knitting. I'm hoping that the sleeves take maybe a week, so that might be a little ambitious for me, but I'm going to, I think, finish off the ribbing today and then start on the sleeves tomorrow. What else is a priority? Another priority that I want to finish, that I hardly worked on at all. I didn't work on this project at all while we were on vacation. I worked on this project a lot on the plane. This is a bag made by my mom. Very simple drawstring bag that I like very much. This is the Love Note sweater. And the reason why is because I failed to take a tape measure with me. So I worked on it quite a bit on the plane. Let me show you the progress keeper. Where's the progress? There it is. Progress keeper right there. So I did most of that work from the body on down to where I am now on the plane. And then I measured it, and I've just got a couple rows to go before I start the ribbing, and then I can also start the sleeves on this one. So this yarn is, I forgot to talk about the yarn in my other, on the Ghost Horses. So the Ghost Horses sweater, the yarn is the purple yarn, purple variegated, is Spin Cycle. I believe the colorway is Nostalgia. And then the gray, the contrast color, is Brooklyn Tweed, and it is a fingering weight. So 2 different weights of yarn. I did a gauge swatch to figure that out, and they knit very nicely together. This yarn is a hand-dyed yarn by Ray Whiting, also known as Knitterman or Nativity. And it is this 2 skeins of, there is no colorway name for this. It's just a number, but he dyes in twin sets. So I bought 2 skeins of this yarn and then bought a coordinating skein of mohair to hold double. So this is really soft. I like this sweater very much, and I'm looking forward to finishing it as well. So after I finish Ghost Horses, this is another priority, although I am knitting this in the evening. I do knit on Ghost Horses in the morning. And which brings me to, what do I knit during the day if I have a chance? So yesterday I was able to knit actually for a couple hours because I had a 2-hour meeting where it was an informational meeting for the leadership staff at the organization that I work. I was able to finish this sock. This is the Island sock. It's a pattern by Kay Jones for her patrons, for the Bakery Bear patrons. The yarn is by Hugh Loco, and this, I don't remember the colorway specifically, but it was inspired by a chicken. So that's what that is, and I'm almost done with the second sock. So this is important. I intend to finish this one either today or tomorrow because Sockoween and other make-alongs are starting in October, so should have that finished. And while I'm talking about Sockoween, which is a Bakery Bears knit-along, and there is a pattern that comes with that, I am thinking this is a Freckled Whimsey colorway. This is one of the Halloween Club colorways. I have the label right here. It's Happy Pink Oween. It is the club number 10 for February of 2025. So this is what I'm thinking of knitting, either that or I'm going to knit Kay Jones Fairground Socks, which I believe is a pattern that anyone can buy from Ravelry, or I think the other place she sells on is Lovecraft. And then possibly, because I'm going to have a ton of yarn left from this Hue logo, and the pattern that she designed for this knit along is a textured pattern, and I'm kind of almost thinking that this might go well with that. And I have a ton of yarn left, so I could make some shorty socks and use these contrast colors for, you know, like a pop of color in the cuff and the heels and toes is what I'm thinking. But as soon as I finish these socks, I will weigh it and let you know where that goes. So that's that plan. What else do I have going on? I have in this bag, another bag made by my mom. So garlic print, simple drawstring bag is the So Faded. So this is the second time I've tried this, and I'm about to start the fading part. I ended up buying a different skein of yarn. I had a yellow, if you might remember, and it just didn't go. So I went to my local yarn store and got this. And this ball of yarn, I decided to wind it by hand because I was watching TV and I was getting to a point where I just wanted to start fading. And I didn't want to get out the Swift and the ball winder, but this is what they're going to look like. But oh my gosh, I twisted up the middle part of the skein and it took way longer than it should have to knit this, or to wind it up. I'm using Chogu red lace needles. I believe these are a size 4. I think the pattern calls for a size 5, but my gauge swatch indicated that I wanted to use a size 4. So these are the 3 colors that are going to be faded together on this. And this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. So looking forward to that. So that's something that I will work on as I finish my Love Note sweater and the ghost horses. So I think this will become a priority after I finish the this may become my morning knitting, although I do have cast on plans for a make along that is going on right now that I'm not really participating in because I already have a colorwork. So I am in the Nitty Natty membership, and there is a colorwork sweater make along, and I am going to knit a it's the Tellybean sweater, and I'm using the yarn that I originally started the So Faded with. So it is a fingering weight, I think it's a fingering weight sweater by Caitlin Hunter, who is also the designer for the ghost horses. So my gauge swatch, which is really cute, and I didn't knit it nearly big enough, but it gave me the information that I needed. So my main color is this, I want to say it's Nightshade fingering weight yarn. My contrast color is this Woolen Women, the Kentucky Derby colorway, very precious yarn, and then there's a little bit of like a contrast color too. It's this pink colorway. I think it's called Peony. So this is going to be the main thing with some accent colors with that bright pink. I think it's going to be fantastic. So that I will cast that on when I finish the ghost horses. So that is the knitting portion of this episode. I'm very interested to hear what you do with your knits that are wearing out that might be a little precious to you. I think I'll be able to wear this for quite a bit longer before it starts like falling apart, which is good. And at that point, I guess I'll just toss it. That would be the kind thing to do. But you know, this wearing this sweater just definitely brings me memories of that trip to Grand Marais with my mom and my sister in 2019. Life stuff, back to work this week. Went to a memorial service Monday. It was like we got back Saturday evening late. Had Sunday to relax, and then Monday went to a memorial service. My aunt had passed away, so it's my dad's sister had passed away last December, and then we just were able to get the whole family together just now. So did that on Monday. My dad wasn't feeling well, so he wasn't able to go. I recorded it for him and sent him the YouTube link. So, and I've talked to him since. He seems to be feeling a bit better, but he's definitely feeling his age at this point. So, you know, I just try to talk to him as much as possible, and he seems to really enjoy that. Other life stuff, just back to work. I did PT this morning. My shoulder's still doing quite well. Hope to go for a bike ride this weekend, either today or I think it's supposed to start raining on Sunday, and then we have the Pacific Northwest rain is the forecast. Love to ride my horse again sometime, but he needs to heal from a stone bruise, so I'm just going to do some groundwork with him. Bragi has more time off. My trainer comes back from her clinic. She'll be back in time for his lesson next week. And then I will be at a conference the following week and not able to work with him. So I think I will be back in time. I'll be back on the weekend, so I'll be able to do another podcast and keep you updated on the knitting. So that is all I have. I will show the vacation footage, and I hope you really enjoy the scenes from the Northeast. We flew into Boston, so there's some airplane footage. And then we went to Maine, and I took a picture of Randy's cousin's greenhouse because I was really impressed with it and would like one that size. And then we went to a family friend's place on the beach up near Mount Desert Island, which is where Bar Harbor is, and Acadia National Park. And then we went to New Hampshire, and I have some color, the trees changing color, and some pictures of a hike we did. So that will be at the end of this video. So take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. There's Bailey, the dog. We're on our third day of vacation on the coast of Maine, staying at a friend's house. It's absolutely stunning.
To keep the tide, the swells from coming in.
Cruise ships must soon come in from over there.
I assume yeah.
Is that a cruise ship there? Or is that
Part of that other rock, and it split it in the ice and moved it.
Power Island Loop. It's the Androscoggin River.